This video is not sponsored and has no adverts. Hello and thanks for joining me for some more photography. Now this one might be quite a short one because it's going to be literally one photograph. I may take more than one exposure, but I'm only looking to make one final image. This image is something which I've waited about 4.5 years to reattempt. I took a shot during lockdown in May of the flower supermoon rising behind my house. Not a bad picture, but it didn't work out as well as I'd hoped because I was looking for the moon to be not fully risen. I couldn't do that because on that particular evening in May 2020, the sun on the other side of the sky hadn't set and it still had about 15-20 minutes to go before sunset when the moon rose. What I was trying to achieve last time was to just have the bottom part of the moon cut off, and I simply couldn't get enough contrast in the shot, even though my composition was bang on. So, on the basis that we get very few completely clear evenings around here, and I got the line of sight across past my house, which is what I want in the shot, I'm going to give it another go. Now, the main thing here is the composition. I've got the house nicely positioned. I've had to get the camera up as high as it'll go on this tripod because I'm overlooking some bulrushes and I need to not really have those in the shot because they're just a blurred mess and they don't add anything to it at all. I did want to capture the waterfront in front of the house, and really it's quite a personal shot. If I've completely screwed up the alignment, if Photo Pills has lied, I don't have really any plan B because the banks of this side of the lake are completely overgrown. I fought my way through to a vantage point, but it may be that I have to come out a little bit wider to include the house and the moon, so that just remains to be seen. And one thing that's worth mentioning about this sort of photography is that when you're planning something like this, you cannot take too many test shots. I've decided I wanted to shoot it in high resolution mode at 80 megapixels, and that's not a problem for this sort of thing. There's only two things in the shot that are moving. One is the water, well that doesn't matter. The other is this great big cloud of midges right in front of the camera. So by shooting it in high res, hopefully I'll have fewer midges to clone out of the image. Now if I'm being completely honest with you, I think this is going to be an epic fail. I think I'm going to end up with a photograph of the house and a completely separate photograph of the moon, because I think it's going to come up over Llyn or Carnedd Dafydd. Either way, it won't be in the shot of my house from this position on the lake, and it was the only one I had available to me. If that's the case, I'll get in really tight on it and just try and get a mountain moonrise shot. Lovely evening though. I mean, you know, I haven't had many evenings like this year, so it's very pleasant to be out and about. Okay, it's game on. And I might just be able to get... Oh no, I don't think this is going to work. It's too far away. I need an urgent plan B. So I'd been thinking about this while I was waiting. And we had an almost perfectly formed belt of Venus a little earlier. It's fading off now, but I think this is better than nothing, if I'm honest. Let's get in tight. It's going to be a really slow shutter speed now. We've lost about 5 stops of light since I set up. So it's coming in right on the flank of Carnedd Dafydd. Looks absolutely fabulous. So let's just start taking some shots. It's a terrible composition. I've got half of our neighbour's house in the shot, but there's absolutely nothing I can do about that. Take another shot. It's just perfectly positioned right now. I'm happy with that. It looks absolutely huge. Sorry about the stream of consciousness, but I mean, not really much else I can do here. What I'll do is just let it come up a wee bit higher. I've got a tiny bit of the lake in the foreground and I've got a little bit of reflection. If I come out just a hint, just a touch out to say 200 millimeters, I've now got the reflection in the lake as well. And that's really nice. Because I've got a line of geese running across the reflection of the moon. It's now just cleared Carnedd Dafydd. Well, it isn't really what I came for, but at the same time, it's not bad. And it just looks absolutely sensational. There's really nothing to compare with watching this sort of thing. Just shoot a bit of footage so that you can get an idea of what I'm seeing here. I could definitely do without the house being in the shot, but there really isn't much else I can do about it. So, if you're watching this, there'll be an image or two at the end. If they didn't work out, you'll never see this. So I'll leave it there for this one. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Really hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. And if you have, why not subscribe and join me next time? Cheers.